content being delivered digitally, etc. Our parent company is Houghton Mifflin Harcourt, and we have a huge operation right now. We're working with the government in China to put a lot of things digitally for them for instruction. Don't ask me to go to China to sell that, because I could never understand what they're doing, but so much is changing, and we are on the cutting edge of it.
Kathy, another question then. There are other tests out there who administer online,
Right.
and stake claim to the fact that the test automatically adjusts for student ability.
Yes,
where
like the
there's
MAP test.
I wasn't going to name names, but
Okay.
since you named names,
I'll
Like
say
MAP.
okay, like MAP test. MAP is a very different test. It's an adaptive test.
so I was going to ask if you could speak, if you have knowledge of the difference
Yes.
between those, and obviously you're more favorable toward Iowa, so I'm just going to ask you to speak your opinion.
No, I will. No. MAP is a fine test for its purposes, okay? But this is a high socioeconomic district, okay? And most high socioeconomic districts want to test kids at grade level with a sufficient number of items. They don't want to have kids miss one or two items. It knocks them down to a lower level. If they get a few items right, it'll knock them up to a higher level. And it gives them, quote, an instructional level. It does not really tell them where they rank with their peers in their same grade nationwide. Although they do have norms with it, quote, norms, okay? But they're user norms, and they are not as strong as testing kids on grade level with grade level material, okay? And it is all online. It is not web delivered. So you have to use your own server to deliver this. You have to have a tech person really on staff, because if you're in the middle of testing and something happens, it does take a lot of support. But we find that most of the high socioeconomic districts are using like an Iowa test. Okay? The Napervilles, Barrington, Lake Forest, Kenilworth, those places, a lot of them are using an Iowa test.
Thank you.
Okay? And it has a RIT score, to measure that growth, as they claim. But Iowa, you have a very strong growth scale also. One of the comments that they make that's a negative towards us is saying that, it really doesn't show you how high your kids can go. If I'm at the 90th percentile, it doesn't show you how high you can go on an Iowa. Well, if I'm at the 90th percentile this year and I'm at the 90th percentile next year, I have made normal growth. I can still go higher. If I'm at the 99th percentile and I use a scale score, just like the RIT score, I can show you how high I can go. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Did I sell you?
You didn't have to sell me. I just
All right.
asking.
No, that's fine. That's a very legitimate question. Because there are a lot of schools that do use the MAP test. Okay? But it's changing. Question?
I just
Yes.
have one. So, I guess what I don't understand is, when they get rid of the ISAD, you said they're going to do Common Core in 2014, and
Well,
that's
it's going to be a mixture.
a mixture. But that's a four times a year that test is?
That's what there are two large consortiums in our country that's gotten together. Illinois is one that has joined one of those consortiums, okay? Not every state has, like Texas hasn't.
Right.
A huge state like Texas isn't buying into this, okay? And what they're doing is, because you know what happened with No Child Left Behind. It was a great idea, but it wasn't practical. Because they're saying that by 2014, everybody has to be meeting expectation. It's not realistic, okay? So what do you think they did? They've changed the scale. You've read about that, right?
Yeah.
Okay? And more kids have to get AYP. What does real estate people say? You better get more kids getting AYP because we have to sell property in this district, right? I'm getting off the topic here. Where was I going on this thing now? You had a question.
I guess my concern was
Oh,
like,
what is it gonna be?
Yeah.
We don't know if it's gonna be 4 tests a year. Where's the state have the money for it? Okay? They haven't paid their bill to Pearson in 2 years. They owe over $70 million
okay.
for the ISAT. So you're talking 4 times a year? And then getting people geared up to take this test online? How practical is that going to be even in 2 years? You know, I can take you to districts, even in Cook County, that really don't have a lot of computers. Okay? But anyway, maybe the government's going to give us grants to do this. But they don't have the money to do it. So I don't know what will happen, okay? It is all up for grabs.
Okay.
We don't know what's going to happen. But we do know that they want to raise the standards. And you certainly have done it here. When you're into Marzano, how many districts have gotten brought into that, to those levels of cognitive difficulty? That's phenomenal. You are way ahead of the pack when I hear what you've done here. And, you know, your report card and to be reporting at that standards level, that's wonderful. And those standards are, I'm sure, going beyond what's in those Common Core standards right now.
Gina, did that answer your question?
Yeah, I was just concerned. I mean, I didn't know, I don't know, it was a definitive, you know, it was 4 times a year, then 2 or 3 times here, that's 7 times a year testing. I just thought it was a little excessive. That's all.
It's all got to have to flush out. We don't know what.
So it's unknown.
Right.
Thank you.
We don't know what it's going to be.
And then Kathy, just to confirm, if we make this move, you've got the necessary conversions so that we will be able to look at our longitudinal data with the appropriate
That's a very
conversions.
key thing because you have such a wonderful history here of growth and how you use the test results. And it does, from what I heard tonight, it seems to be such a perfect fit for your whole curriculum. Because I could take our blueprints for the Iowa and put them next to yours, and I'm sure it's very close.
Other questions? The fees, but it's we
That's good.
discussed.
The fee? Okay. In fact, the scoring of it, because we do the scoring, that is going to be slightly less than what you're paying now because of new technology and that type of thing. The scoring will be less. The booklets are very inexpensive. They are a reusable booklet for grades 3 and up. It grades 1 and 2. You buy consumables now. The consumables with the new one is going to be the same price that they are now, or a little bit less. So you're not going to see a big difference for budget purposes.
Anything else?
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you, Kathy,
here.
for being here.
Kathy,
I
yeah.
so appreciate it.
Yeah.
You want a flash drive? It's our new technology. There are no tests on it, though.
Thank you so much. What is that?
Thank you.
No tests.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm not bribing you.
Not in the least bit.
She's got the iPads outside.
Yeah, really.
No iPads.
Come back with those.
That'll be next time.
Okay.
We have enough
Right.
for our
Let me just,
taxpayers in the audience.
let me just check
Thank you.
with the board. So I'm hoping that, you know, this will be a consent item in June because we would like to get going with the ordering, and it's not a lot of other change logistically, but, you know, we do need to get the ordering complete,
Does it
so
have to be on the consent agenda, Mark?
I don't care, just so it's approved.
I just feel like the cost, well, I don't know.
The variable.
No, I mean, because we'll talk about it, whether it's on the consent agenda or whether it's on an action item, but figure out where the best place is to put it.
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to get a barometer whether there's, you know, major outstanding issues anybody has about this update.
We're doing this in the fall then. I mean, like,
Correct. Okay.
nonetheless will be on the June agenda for
Yes.
action.
Thanks.
Okay.
Next one, board orientation / retreat. This came